Peter Moore. Shocking bounce, taken by Healy. His kick towards half forward. Michael Taylor stands his ground well in typical Michael Taylor fashion, showing plenty of courage under a bit of pressure from Hughes. I don't think that was worthy of 15 metres. It was a complete accident, in my opinion.
Both players got a heck of a shot.
A spirally torpedo punt kick from Taylor covers a lot of distance. Jarrett swoops on it, gets the hand pass out to Boland. Boland dives on the ball, allows Connolly to come in and play the ball in front of him. Throws the ball over the top. Gary Shaw now. Kick smothered by Jarrett. Great play by Alan Jarrett. And he's put in one of his workmanlike performances.
Yes, he's been busy all day. Here's the throw in now. Moore. Connolly. Shaw will stand his ground and back into that pack. Pushed out for Allen. Onto the left foot he'll go. Woodall, 1, 2, 3. In fact, it's not Woodall, it's Morwood. Shane Morwood, who ran onto the ground in the closing stages of the last quarter. Then the siren sounded, and out he's come to take a great one-hander. Very important kick for Collingwood. They trail at the moment. Morwood's floating punt goes straight to the arms of Stephen Smith, who takes it uncontested. To the back pocket he goes, and they're out of trouble. Batterston is the runner, receives the handball, gives it across. It was a low handball to Giles, but he gets out of trouble, does it well across to Russ Richards. He in turn will go up towards the half-forward line from across the centre, and the mark taken again by Ellingworth. Roger Ellingworth. Regolo backing into the pack, in fact waits down. Speaking of one-handers, if you don't mind, Michael Reynolds plucks a beauty.
Reynolds certainly looks impressive up on that forward line. He played in defence all today, but when we saw him last year, it was on the forward line that he looked a great player.
Here he is, 35 metres out, directly in front. The drop punt on its way. Goal umpire has a good luck and says all clear. So the Demons go further ahead, 12-12 to 11-10 on Seven's big lead.
Well, that move already successful. Reynolds has done a fine job at full-back for 3 quarters and taking Templeton's place at full forward. A great mark and a pressure goal.
And now the pressure right on Collingwood. They trail by 8 points. Here's the bounce with Fellows and Moore. It's won by the latter. Connolly gets a favourable bounce as he wobbles one towards the half-forward line. Jarrett has it spoiled by Taylor. Ellingworth is waiting down, picks it up now, then scoots out towards the pocket. Here's this man again. McAllister's certainly got plenty on him. Thorne's kick is smothered. He gets another shot. Gives the handball across to Adrian Batterston, who chips in towards goal and puts it through. Great couple of minutes of footy by the Demons, and they're looking the goods at the moment.
So it's probably the first time in the game, Sandy, where one side has really dictated terms for quite a period.
2 goals in as many minutes. The Demons lead by 14 points. And how sweet it is to have a first-up victory. 11-10 to 13-12. Can Collingwood come back? Here's the bounce in the middle. Won this time by Fellows. Batterston's there, so too is Healy. Adrian Batterston tries to scoop it out towards Tony Giles. Still in the middle. Boland loses it. Beers does too, but I think the umpire will let play go on. In fact, he does. Regolo snared it well, but then he dropped it. Phillips in trouble, has got a handball over his head blindly. Healy is there. He gets caught by Williams. Gary Shaw comes away with the football. Boland now is seen out of it as Allen kicks long up towards the half-forward line. Jarrett puts body over the ball. In fact, that's something he's done all day. Peter Moore now tucks it under his arm. Away he comes. Back towards the half-forward flank and Ellingworth.
Roger Ellingworth swings it in towards centre half-forward. Williams takes the mark. Thought about playing on, but then steadied. Melbourne looking very impressive at this stage as the lead comes from Reynolds. A beautifully placed kick and a nice mark to Reynolds. And Michael Reynolds Not much further out than from where he kicked his previous goal. It's a nice lead, well-placed kick. Reynolds puts the ball forward, but he's hooked it too far. It's through for 1 point, so the Demons go to 13 goals, 13, 91, with Collingwood 11, 10, 76. Collingwood have not scored in this term. The Demons have added 2 goals, 1. Shane Morwood takes the mark.
And we've played some 7 minutes of this final quarter.
Shocking kick by Morwood, straight to Williams. Short pass from Williams to Peter Moore. Moore has played on, puts himself under pressure, puts the ball wide. Robert Flower in the van, traps the ball well. Long kick from Flower towards the goal square. Fellows in position to mark and does just that. Where's Fellows? Right in the last line of defence. Reynolds will have to be brought back a couple of metres. Kick from Fellows. He's looking for Greg Phillips. He doesn't go for the mark. He punches it on straight to Melbourne's Allingworth. Allingworth a hand pass to Peter Moore. On to Williams. Williams the short kick. Robert Flower takes the mark. So Flower, the Melbourne skipper, has kicked 1 goal, and a beautiful goal it was in the 3rd term. Melbourne running Collingwood ragged at the present moment. It's Flower's kick right to the goal square. Fellows once again takes the mark. Plays on with a handball to Allen. Allen having plenty of time to just bounce his way around the boundary line. Now directs it across towards the centre. No mark. Jarrett at the back of the pack. Gets a hand pass to Smith. Smith on to Richards. Richards tackled but gets it to Moore. Moore tackled, loses possession. Richards comes in. Morwood now. Tapped on by Beers. Straight to Smith of Melbourne. Miles comes in, knocks it forward, puts a long hand pass. Good play, Jeff Miles. Tony Shaw puts Morwood under pressure. Morwood kicks it off the ground. Well trapped by Smith of Melbourne. His hand pass to Richards. Richards comes back. Long hand pass from Richards. There's Melbourne players everywhere. As this time it comes to Johnson from Williams. Johnson swings play back. All on his own Regolo, and he takes the mark.
Collingwood look rattled at the moment. Frank Regolo hasn't goaled to date. Some 40 metres out, almost directly in front, and this could just about seal it. And there's only 15 points the margin at the moment. The kick's on its way. It looks good. The Demon flags go up. And they're on fire at the moment. 3 quick goals, and Peter Moore delighted with Frank Regolo's performance. And it's been quite a return to senior football by young Frank Regolo. (14-13 to 11-10), favouring the Demons on Sevens Big League. The chart of the Melbourne club goes up. But there's the scoreboard. That's what Collingwood has to do if they're to get back into this ball game. And it's going to be tough now. Abernethy receives from Fellows. Standing still, he puts a long kick down towards the half-forward line. Shaw was there, but so too is Boland. Gives it across to Williams. The Demons' confidence is growing as every minute passes. Down towards Regolo again. He can't take the mark. In front was Toomey, and the umpire Hood comes in and elects to have a bounce. All Melbourne in this last term.
Abernethy in the centre, Dacos to the forward line.
Fellows. Taken away, however, with relative ease by Batterston. He gives it to the player in Johnston running past. He fires away at goal, and they're just peppering mad at the moment. There's another one. The Demons are on the warpath. 15-13 to Collingwood, who've stopped on 11-10 on Sevens Big League.
Coming up
once again, pretty even contest on that occasion. Jarrett was unable to take it away, so too was Thorne. Moore receives. High to the half-forward line, and a good diving mark taken there by Jeff Miles. He's tried hard. Cloak. Play on is the call. Richardson has had a day he'd prefer to forget, although on this occasion he's going to be given the free kick. Michael Richardson just on the attacking side of centre. Collingwood need goals and need them fast. Morwood. Williams. Across to Beers. To full forward. Woodhall playing from behind. Barham has been quiet, but he shoots and he goals. So the Woods won't lie down yet. Barham kicks his first, and Collingwood's 12. 12-10 to 15-13, and still they fight it out.
Toomey off the ground, Banks on. Collingwood fans a little bit of life at the moment. Can Collingwood come back?
Well, they can shout as much as they like, Bobby, because there's a new roof on the Ryder stand after the storms earlier in the week, and I think this one is on to stay.
From the bounce, Fellows and Moore. Moore with a big punch out wide. Alan Johnson leads in the race for the ball. Got an awkward bounce, but he gets the free kick anyway because Tony Short straight into his back. So Johnson, centre wing, keeps the ball out wide. Phillips in position, can't take the mark, should get the free kick though. And so Greg Phillips comes straight across the ground. Fortunately, the bounce favours Richardson. He's coming straight up the centre of the ground. Goes for the short pass, though. Poor football. Straight into the arms of Robert Flatt. A hand pass to Smith. Smith goes for the short pass. And Williams, who's been a great player in this term, all over the ground. For David Williams. As he can make the distance. It's right up into the square. In fact, it may just be through. Touched on the line.
Great effort then by Greg Phillips. And one more point goes on the board for the Demons. 104 plays 82. So the kick back into play. Morwood, Johnson. Morwood needs support. Gains it through Moore. Shaw across to Phillips. Gives it to Michael Taylor, and Illingworth had him covered. Healy now. Taylor's in trouble, I think, with the shoulder. Healy steadies. Out comes Reynolds and takes the mark. What a move this one's been, and behind play Michael Taylor in a spot of bother with that shoulder.
Hughes living off the ground too.
Unfortunate for him, his first game. Templeton coming back onto the ground, but the action at the moment is with Reynolds, who got underneath that one and has poked it as high as he did long, and it's gone through for one behind. So another minor score to the Demons. We're approaching the 15-minute mark, and Collingwood have still got plenty of time, but they're unable at the moment to make any real inroads. Now's the chance as Barham combines with Graham Allen. He's run almost 100 metres. Dacos. Holden not impressed. Nor too is Peter Giles. Giles goes back on the mark while Dacos. It's a prodigious punt! What a kick! What a goal by Dacos! Now, if anything can lift them, then that's certainly Shaw. One of the longest torpedoes we've seen for many a day from Peter Dacos. And Collingwood 13-10 trail Melbourne 15-15 on 7. Big lead.
Well, if anything was going to turn a game, Sandy, it's that type of goal.
What a punt.
Peter Moore. Rucked all day, gets the ball down to Williams. Williams down to centre half forward. Phillips is in the way though, with Templeton back on the ground. Reynolds out at centre half forward, whipping in front Richards, plays on straight away, dashes down the ground. Long hand pass down towards Thorne in the forward pocket. Thorne goes onto the right foot, dummies the hand pass, swings back now, goes towards goal. Across the face of goal and through for 1 point. 1 point to Peter Thorne, and it's Collingwood 13-10, 88. Melbourne 15-16, 106. 18 points to margin.
And just on 16 minutes played, Bob, so plenty of time.
Kick from Banks. Peter Moore, good effort by Moore. He's done a fine job for the Demons. So Moore at half forward. Probably go long. It's the kick forward. Fellows out and takes a nice mark. Fellows, the hand pass to Allen. Allen puts the floating kick forward towards the wing. Cloak brings the ball down. The ball bounces back to Cloak. Fresh air shot, taps the ball on, it goes over the boundary line, and we'll find a throw-in to take place on centre wing. Cloak against Moore. Moore wins it. Tony Shaw taps the ball on. Williams, the Collingwood skipper, gets it to Abernathy. Abernathy the chance. It is offline and through for only 1 point.
Yes, opportunity going begging then for Abernathy. The ball not deviating one bit in the air. So the minor score goes on the board. Stephen Smith receiving. Here's a chance for Williams. He can bounce his way. He's got to get past Cloak, and that's all. In fact, he elects to take the kick, floating a punt down towards the half-forward line. Phillips uses the body to spoil from behind. Wow, the master. Chips over his shoulder. Miles intercepting Healy under plenty of pressure. Back towards the centre. Fellows. Gets support from Phillips, who steadies and goes long. That's what Collingwood must do if they're going to get back into this game. Giles at the back. A high kick. Cloak and Williams both making ground, and a great mark taken there by Williams. He's under plenty of pressure.
What a great quarter of football he's played, Sandy.
Yes, he's been in everything. Goes short on this occasion. Number of them out there. Flower slows things down as he gives it across to his teammate there in Richards. He also has been very busy. Thorne. Outreaching Taylor. The left footer from Peter Thorne. McCormack is there. Templeton leans into him, and McCormack takes a sound mark on the last line of defence. Played almost 20 minutes.
McCormack goes for the short pass where Tony Shaw is all on his own. No one really to kick the ball to. Could have been a free kick to Abernathy. He's bundled out of the way by Jarrett. Connolly's taken away from the ball. Abernathy dives in there again with Jarrett. Neither player could get it clear. Now Williams comes out with it for Collingwood. The hand pass over the top to Banks. Banks runs his distance. A shocking hand pass. Misses Gary Shaw completely. Gary Shaw comes back after it. Taken away by Williams. Williams hand pass, not to anybody in particular. Banks is there again, and he'll get the free kick. This time Banks directs the ball down to Richardson. A lovely pass by Dennis Banks. But Richardson's out wide. Goes for the short pass, looking for Woodhall. Woodhall dives, taking the ball right on the boundary line. But it'll be a great shot from there. Right on the boundary line. Dale Woodhall has kicked 2 goals. One that's badly needed at this stage. Can the youngster from Queensland bring them within 2 kicks? Swings back. 1 point only the result. Collingwood fans, I think, trying to influence the umpire. It was a lovely looking kick. Stephen Smith. Once again, no manning up when they come out there. And Richards puts the ball forward. Allen, a good mark. Graham Allen swings across the ground, looks for Phillips. Phillips taps the ball back, gets a push in the back. A little lucky, I thought. So it's Greg Phillips. Collingwood have steadied a little bit, but not looking good up forward. Peter Moore almost took the mark. Peter Dacos swings the ball back. Barham, a lovely mark. Ricky Barham has kicked 1, and there's the player who put it back in for him, Peter Dacos. 90 to 106, 10 points if Barham can kick truly. Got a bit of pressure on Ricky Barham at this present moment. 21 and a half minutes about to tick around, and Barham just sneaks it in, but it's 10 points between the sides as Collingwood go to 14 goals, 12, 96. Melbourne 15-16, 106.
Just a couple of minutes away from entering time on. Barham has kicked 2 goals, both of those in this term. And now the Collingwood chant has started up. 10-point break. Can they get back into it after giving Melbourne an excellent chance of wrapping up the game in the opening 5 or 6 minutes of this final term? But anything can happen in football, and it appears as though that is the case today. Here's the bounce once again. Won by Fellows this time. Not a good tap for Stephen Smith, who tried to push it down. Beers forced to go out wide. Flower is there for the Demons. Caught, but gets out of trouble. Still he goes, and eventually gets the handball away. Now Batterston, a chance to steady as he has a look up forward, then goes towards the half-forward line. Phillips cuts across in front of Frank Regolo and takes a good mark. Realising he's got to go long to give his side a chance of another score before the siren sounds. Almost into time on. Moore paddling the ball along in front. Can't pick it up. Beers says thank you very much. Ricky Barham can cover himself in glory. He chips in towards full forward. McAllister's come on the ground and he goals. 4 points the margin. Jim McAllister has just walked on. And now 4 points separating these two sides. 15-16 to 15-12 on 7's big lead.
A great comeback by the Collingwood side. They looked badly beaten 5 minutes ago, and they really come back. Peter Dacos in the thick of things. Barham kick one, responsible for that as Moore gets it down to Batterston, punched away by Taylor. Miles in there underneath, a bounce to take place.
4 points the margin, a minute and a half away from entering time on. Still a ton of time. Fellows, Shaw, looking for the player going past, socks down Banks. Wobbles, a shocking looking kick, but it's up towards the half-forward line. Dacos gets the bounce, gives it across to Shaw. He steadies, Cloak does the shepherding work. Shaw goals! The Woods have hit the front. And listen to the army of Collingwood fans. On 7's big lead, they lead by 2 points.
I hate to sound repetitive, Sandy, but once again, Peter Dacos with a hand pass across to Tony Shaw. Dacos maybe could have been penalised because he gave a little nudge as things all came down. But he then got the hand pass out, and Collingwood are back in front once again. 2 points the margin, 16-12 to 15-16.
About to enter time on in this final term. The Collingwood fans have been quiet for the bulk of the day. What's going to happen from this centre bounce? Gary Shaw steals it away. Now it's Collingwood's turn to run. McAllister, what a fly. Can't complete the mark. Giles goes over the top. It'll be a free kick, I think, to Collingwood.
I think Dacos.
Peter Dacos goes back, and he will have a shot some 35 metres out, almost directly in front. A very important kick for Collingwood fans. Melbourne seemed in an unbeatable position 10 minutes ago, but suddenly that kick from Dacos, I'm sure, inspired Collingwood. This time he drifts it, but drifts it truly, and the Woods move further ahead. 114 plays 106 now on 7's big league, and it's this man, Dacos, that's kept them in the game.
Collingwood at the present moment holding an 8-point lead, but you cannot write the Demons off. If they could start the game or finish the game as they started this quarter. Gary Shaw again puts the high kick forward. Jarrett punches the ball away. Richardson comes through, trying to get the hand pass in, taps the ball on. It's picked up by Batterston. His hand pass across to Ellingworth. Ellingworth puts a high kick up the ground. Barham coming across, couldn't take the mark, but gets the ball down. Williams comes out from Melbourne, does well to break clear. Williams now drives the ball towards half forward, looking for Flower, and he doesn't let him down. Robert Flower, the Melbourne skipper, almost down to half forward. The hand pass across to Williams, who's come right down the ground. He steadies, swings the ball across. No mark taken. Barham coming through, traps the ball. It's kicked off the ground. Desperate play by both sides. And umpire Robinson indicates that he'll bounce the ball about 40 metres out from the Melbourne goal. 114 to 106. 8 points the margin. 26, almost 27 minutes have gone as the loose ball comes out to Regolo. He gets it to Flower. Flower snaps towards goal, but it's way offline. Out of bounds on the full, and the pressure off once again for Collingwood. And unfortunately for the Demons, the clock started to tick away. We'll wait the ball to come back. Over 27 minutes have gone in this final term, and it's Collingwood holding an 8-point margin. Michael Taylor of Collingwood. What a last quarter of football this has been. At the 17-minute mark, Melbourne looking the winners, but since then they have not scored. Fellows tried the short kick. Batterson swoops on the ball, floats a kick forward. Courageous effort by Williams, and what a great mark by Mark Williams. A real pressure mark at this stage of a quarter. Taking his time, Williams, the Collingwood skipper, puts the long kick up towards half forward. Cloak knocks the ball on. Smith comes in from Melbourne. It's picked up by Tony Shaw across to Banks. Banks puts a long kick forward. It might make the distance. McAllister has taken the mark, plays on, puts the ball through for his second goal. Jim McAllister started at fullback, may finish up a hero at full forward, as Collingwood now holding a 14-point margin. Number 46 for Collingwood, Jim McAllister. 28.5 minutes have gone, and Collingwood holding a 14-point lead after looking a beaten side 17 minutes into the term. What a 10-minute burst it's been by the Woods. In 10 minutes, Fellows couldn't take it. He's caught. When I say caught, he was caught without the ball, so it's a free kick to Wes Fellows. Done a good job for the Woods right throughout this game. Time ticking away for the Demons as Wes Fellows puts it long. Punched away by Giles. Taken by Batterston. Poor kick by Batterston, smothered. Banks came over the top. Batterston coming through again. Gets the hand pass in, but Collingwood, through the agency of their skipper, Mark Williams, diving on the ball, trapping it, containing it. The bounce. Midway between the centre of the ground and centre wing. Cloak. Moore got the ball. The kick from Banks smothered. Dives in after it. Johnson gets it to Healy. Healy's tackled by Allen. Taken by Connolly. Connolly now gets the kick across, looking for Templeton. And a diving mark taken by Kelvin Templeton, but I feel it's too late for the Demons. 14 points, almost 30 minutes into the term. So even if Templeton can kick truly, they still need a minimum of 2 scoring shots. It's a shocker by Templeton, off the side of the boot. Bounces awkwardly, taken by Regolo. The quick hand pass, Barham comes through, couldn't handle the ball cleanly. Regolo comes on again, was held. Be a free kick to Frank Regolo. And the youngster from Assumption College has kicked 1 goal. Well within kicking distance. He's only 30 metres out. No angle of note. So it's Frank Regolo. Regolo's kick. He's hooked it, and only 1 point to margin. Only 1 point the result, I should say. The margin being 13 points. There it is. 121 to 106. 15 points. 13 by the scoreboard, not by our monitor, as we find David Cloak taking the mark. A steadying influence for the Collingwood side. Cloak's long kick brought to ground. Williams again there for the Demons, runs into trouble. The loose hand pass, Tony Shaw comes through, gets it to Gary Shaw. Shaw's hand pass across now. Looks like Miles right down the ground. He slips. Richards comes in from Melbourne. And there's the siren. Collingwood running out winners. 18-12, 120 to Melbourne 15-17, 107.